Hello and welcome to the Saturday Evening Pot. Today we'd like to feature the first episode in a new series we're starting on the website called The Chef's Table. It was very common when I was in culinary school and in restaurant circles for the executive chef to have his own prep table, and no one was allowed to do any work on that table or produce anything in the kitchen except the executive chef. And me being the chef on the Saturday Evening Pot, I'm going to take liberties here in my own kitchen. The purpose of these vignettes is to show you some tips and tricks that I picked up in culinary school and in the restaurant business, with the hope to make your culinary experience easier, to make cooking more enjoyable. So we'll hope you'll stop by often, and we look forward to seeing you again. Thank you. Welcome to the first episode and the first training tip at the Chef's Table. Today we're going to talk about a quick and easy way to dice an onion. Here at the Saturday Evening Pot, we do a lot of low country cuisine and southern cooking. We utilize onions on a regular basis. I'm going to show you two ways to cut an onion. The first way is the classic method, which I learned at Johnson & Wales University. I find this technique cumbersome. I find it time consuming, and in my years at the resort, working in the banquets and catering department, I learned a much quicker and easier way. Now, as in any business, in the restaurant business, time is money. So the quicker you can produce food, the quicker you can turn tables, the quicker you can feed people, and the more people you can feed in a certain period of time, the more money you're going to make. So let's get started. What I have here is two sweet Vidalia onions from South Georgia. This is my favorite onion. It's not as sharp, it's not as bitter, it has a rather mellow taste. But I'm going to show you the classic way that I learned in culinary school first. First thing we're going to do is going to trim the head off. And then we're going to trim what they call the butt off. This is the root side of the onion. Move these trimmings over to my scrap table here. We're then going to peel the onion. What I do is make a small notch like this, starting from the top and from the bottom, and then using my fingers, we're just going to pull a very thin layer of the onion off. Now, some would say, well, what about waste? Well, in the scheme of things, this is minimal, so I wouldn't worry about it. Okay, now we have the cleaned, peeled, and trimmed onion. Now, in culinary school, what they taught me to do in the first lab was to take your knife in your cutting hand, hold the onion firmly with your offhand, which in my case is my left hand. And the first thing you're going to do in order to do a dice, which is a small square cut of an onion, you're going to take the knife and you're going to cut slices down into the onion, but not all the way through, equal distance across the onion. So we're going to go across like this. I'm going to do a medium dice on this one because it's easier. The bigger the cut, the easier it is to do. You're then going to turn the onion 45 degrees, or excuse me, 90 degrees, and then you're going to cut again, not going all the way through the onion. Now the camera's not going to allow you to see this, but what I have is perfectly square pieces of onion, and I have a crosshatch pattern of cuts in the top of the vegetable. Then what we would do is just turn the onion up on its side, grip it in a claw grip, and just slice. And as you can see, you have perfectly square diced pieces of onion. Okay, now, what if you didn't want to use the whole onion? Well, you've got the onion already pre-cut to a certain size. And trying to match this up and continue doing with this just proved to be cumbersome. There's a lot of cuts in this move, and there's a lot of, I don't know, it just seems slow. So I'm going to show you the way that I was taught at the resort by the executive chef there. Let's move this to the side, and let's put this up in the corner. Okay, now this is how I was taught to cut or to dice an onion. And I'm going to show you a medium dice, I'm going to show you a small dice. First step is exactly the same. You're going to cut the head off, but you're going to keep your knife planted firmly to the cutting board, and you're going to turn the onion back. And if you'll notice, I just removed a small piece of the peel. Okay? Let's move that to the side. Then we're going to do the same thing with the butt end of the onion, which is the root end. Keep your planted and remove. Then we're going to take the onion, instead of peeling it now, like in the first way, we're just going to cut the onion in half, like this. Lay your knife down. Now look how easy it is to peel it. No small cuts, no trimming, no runs, no drips, no errors, like Johnny Bench used to say. So what we have now are two halves of an onion, and if you'll notice, they kind of look like a mountain. Here's where it gets simple. First thing we're going to do is take the half of the onion, we're going to set it up in a mountain. You notice it's on a flat surface, it's good and firm, it's not going to move. And the first thing we're going to do is a medium dice. So we're going to turn the onion like this, we're going to hold it in a claw grip with our offhand. Actually, excuse me, we're going to put the chef's knife on top of the onion, then we're going to fold our offhand over the onion and over the knife, gripping the onion firmly, and then we're just going to do slices all the way through the onion. Alright. Now, I have the mountain, if you will, or the half onion. I have 4 equal slices all the way through. The second step is to take your offhand and grip the onion very firmly between your thumb and index finger. You're then going to take your knife and your cutting hand, you're going to put the point of your knife firmly on the cutting board, and then you're just going to do slices. And you're going to slice until you get to the top of the mountain. You see, I'm right at the middle of the hump. You're going to move your onion over, and then you're just going to flip it down. And you're going to continue to slice. And there you have it. You still have the good equal cuts in the dice design, but to me, it's a lot faster. Alright, last thing I want to do, that was a medium dice. This is a petite dice. I just want to show you the variations. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to put our chef's knife on top of the onion, fold our offhand over, holding the onion firmly, and we're going to do real thin slices this time. And as you can tell, I've made about twice to 3 times as many slices across the width of the onion as I did before. We're also going to, again, we're going to turn the onion 90 degrees. We're going to hold it with our offhand very firmly, because if the slices slip, you're going to have a mess. So hold it firmly, and then we're going to slice in an even smaller pattern. Working our way up to the summit of the mountain. We're going to scoot it over, flip it down, and complete your dice. And there you have it. The same result, but in my opinion, a much easier and quick process. Because as we all know, time is money. We appreciate it, and thank you for watching, and we'll hope you'll come back soon.